A budget is a detailed financial plan that outlines expected revenues and expenses over a specific period. It helps SMEs allocate resources efficiently, control costs, and monitor financial performance. By following a well prepared budget, businesses can make informed decisions, avoid overspending, and achieve their financial goals. In this section, we shall look at the approaches to budgeting and how SMEs can adopt this to improve their budgeting processes. There are several approaches to budgeting that SMEs can use. First of all, incremental budgeting. This includes adjusting previous budgets based on projected changes. And secondly, zero-based budgeting, whereby SMEs start from scratch, evaluating all expenses for necessity. Choosing the right approach helps businesses control costs, plan effectively, and align their resources with their strategic goals. Many SMEs in Uganda and also globally use incremental budgeting for routine operations because it's easier. Zero-based budgeting is often applied when costs must be tightly controlled, for example, during expansion or when bidding for oil and gas contracts where compliance costs must be justified line by line. Incremental budgeting is a method where the new budget is based on the previous year's budget with small adjustments, also known as increments for inflation, growth, or new projects. Let's now take a look and have an example on incremental budgeting and how it happens. Suppose an SME spent 10 million shillings on marketing last year. Using incremental budgeting, the business may increase this amount by 10% for the next year, accounting for growth or inflation. This approach builds on previous budgets, making planning simple and predictable, while at the same time ensuring that resources are adjusted for changing business needs. What are the cons for incremental budgeting? Some of the cons include that the method assumes past spending was efficient. In this essence, it may carry forward wastage. And another con is that it is less flexible in dynamic industries like oil and gas, where demand can shift quickly. Now, let's look at zero-based budgeting in more detail. Zero-based budgeting is a method where every expense must be justified from scratch for each new budgeting period, regardless of past budgets. How does this work? We do not start from last year's figures. Every department or activity must explain why they need money and how it contributes to business goals. What are the pros? This type of budgeting promotes efficiency by questioning every cost. It prevents unnecessary expenses while at the same time helping SMEs to allocate scarce resources to only critical areas. The cons with this method of budgeting include the fact that it is time consuming to prepare. It also requires detailed analysis and discipline and may at times be overwhelming for very small businesses with limited capacity. So, other methods of budgeting include cost allocation by activity. This is an activity-based budget that connects costs directly to specific activities, thus enhancing financial management and transparency. Marketing budget strategy. This uses an activity-based approach for marketing budgets to help ensure resources are aligned with strategic priorities and campaigns. And this concludes our module on financial planning and budgeting. You've learned the importance of planning, key components of financial management, and how to prepare and use budgets effectively. Applying these principles will help your SME manage resources, make informed decisions, and achieve sustainable growth. Remember, careful planning sets the foundation for business success tomorrow.